Hey everybody, I'm going to talk to you about pronouns in this video. Okay, so let's first, yes, I'll talk about grammar, the grammar of pronouns, like to explain the different types of pronouns that we have in English, but I'm also going to talk about how we have changed our usage, I guess, of pronouns in the last few years, decades, in order to recognize, social justice causes. First, I'm going to talk about pronouns, though, and then I'll talk about the other part and the grammatical aspects of it, basically. Okay. So when we're talking about pronouns, we're always talking about words. So pronouns, what are they? They are words that replace they're words that replace nouns. Remember, a noun is a person, a place, a thing, or an idea, or a gerund. So let me give you an example. So I can say Hannah works hard. Hannah is a student. Okay. Sentence. But here you can see I'm saying Hannah, that's a person, so it's a noun. And then I'm saying Hannah again in the next sentence, another noun. It's the same person and it feels repetitive. Hannah works hard. Hannah is a student. Instead of repeating her name, we can use a pronoun, she, to refer to Hannah. Okay, and this is much better than repeating her name or any noun again and again and again, because it just makes it feel easier to hear or read if it's less repetitive. So Hannah works hard. She's a student. Okay, so it's just an example of how we use pronouns to replace a noun, and pronouns always refer back to a specific person or thing that was mentioned earlier. Sometimes students will say something like they'll come up to me or they'll start a paragraph in an essay, or they'll start an essay and say, she was such a wonderful person. They'll start like that. And the problem is you can't really start talking to somebody by saying a pronoun. And you can't start writing a paper with just a pronoun, because a pronoun refers to something you have said or written before. And when you start a sentence like this, it doesn't refer back to anyone because you just started writing your paper or saying your thing you wanted to say. So don't use it if you're starting some new conversation or something like that. Instead, use the name of the person, like Hannah was such a wonderful person because she, helped a lot of people. Here, I'm using she properly because I'm using it to not be repetitive and not say Hannah again and again and again, but I'm also using it to refer back to the name I already mentioned. Okay, so that's when we use pronouns. So we use pronouns to be less repetitive, and we use pronouns so that we can refer back to someone or something that we've already mentioned. Okay, now let's look at the different types of pronouns that we have in English. Now, there are a few different types. There's 4 different types. So we have subject pronouns. So I'm going to just list them here like this. So I can say I, you, he, she, it, they, and we. These are subjects. That means they come before a verb. They come before a subject is who or what does something in a sentence. So for example, Hannah eats lunch at 12. Okay, at 12. So here we have Hannah eats lunch at 12. Here, we have Hannah as the subject of the sentence. Eats is the verb, it's the action. So Hannah is who or what does the verb, right? I can replace Hannah with a pronoun. If you already know who I'm talking about, I can say she. She eats lunch at 12, and that would be correct because we need the subject pronoun, meaning we need the pronoun form that comes before a verb. And all of these ones are the type that come before a verb, okay? Before a verb. Okay, so let me give you some more examples to help you with that. So Hannah is a student. She works hard, okay? Hannah and her friend are students. They work hard. Hannah and I are students. We work hard. Hannah has a book. It is interesting. Hannah, okay, I'll stop there. Okay, so here's just some examples of how we're using pronouns to replace a noun so that we're not repetitive, but also we're using the correct pronoun. Okay, so oops, what did I write? Hannah, not hand. Hannah. Hannah is a student. There's the subject of the sentence. There's the verb. Hannah's a student. She works hard. She is the subject of the next sentence. If I wanted to, I could say Hannah here, but instead I'm replacing that word with the subject pronoun and I'm using she. She works hard. Next one, Hannah and her friend. Now that's two people. So now when I replace that, I'm going to say they because they replaces two people or two things. Over here, Hannah and I are students. Hannah and I, that's two people, but this time it refers to her and I. So the pronoun is we work hard. Hannah has a book. What about it? It is interesting. It is a pronoun that we use to refer to things that are singular, that are one, and that are, not alive usually, okay? Like not human. So that's how you use the subject pronouns. The object pronouns are words like me, you, him, her, them, us, okay? These are the, and also it is the same, okay? So how do we use an object? And what is an object? An object is a noun, another noun, that comes after a verb or after a preposition. So I eat food. Food is a noun, and it comes after the verb eat. Or I am interested in food. In is a preposition. Food is the word that comes after it. That is an object. So how do we use these object pronouns? Okay, so we use these object pronouns in a similar way to the subject pronouns, except for we use them to replace objects in a sentence. So let me give you some examples. Hannah is a student. I teach her. Hannah has books. She uses them. Hannah, I keep writing hand. I need to change it. Okay, Hannah asks, Hannah is a student. She asks me questions. Okay, so let me just give you this example. Well, here, one more. Hannah and I are friends. She cares about us a lot, our relationship. Okay, so our friendship. All right, now these sentences don't really make a lot of sense, but I'm just gonna show you the grammar. Okay, so they do make sense, but anyway. So Hannah, here is the subject. So Hannah's a student. I teach her. Her refers to Hannah. Her is a pronoun, but look at where this pronoun is in this sentence. It's coming after the verb teach. Therefore, we need to say her because it is an object pronoun. Okay. Then Hannah has books. Hannah has books. She uses them. Them refers to the books. And it's coming after the verb uses. So it's object pronoun. Hannah is a student. She is a pronoun, but it's the subject. It comes before the verb. She asks me. That is an object pronoun. It comes after the verb and it refers to me. Okay, I'm writing the sentence. Hannah and I are friends. She is the Hannah, the subject coming before the verb. She cares about us. Us refers to Hannah and I, and it's coming after a preposition. Okay, so these are just some more examples of object pronouns in English. Okay, what about possessive? So possessive means like when you own something, right? You have something, like this is my pen. It's mine. It's Jamie's pen. So possession. Okay. So we have possessive pronouns. We do, but they're probably not what you think. Okay. So we have possessive pronouns and we also have possessive adjectives. Okay. Adjectives are adjectives. Adjectives are words that, adjectives describe nouns. Adjectives describe nouns. So, for example, I have a pink water bottle. Pink is the adjective describing the noun, the water bottle. It's a pink water bottle. But I can also say it is my water bottle. Whose water bottle? My water bottle. Now, my is an adjective. It's not a pronoun. My is an adjective. Why? Because it can't replace the noun. I can't say I have my. I have to say I have my water bottle. It's describing the water bottle. It's saying who possesses it. So a lot of times people will call these words like my, your, his, her, their, our, it's. I always forget it's. These words that look like pronouns, well, they're not. They're actually technically adjectives because they act like adjectives. They describe nouns. They just so happen to show possession in their description, okay? But a possessive pronoun is a word like mine, yours, hers, his, its, theirs, and ours. Usually have the S at the end, okay? And I just want to say something about that. Sometimes people will say mine's, it's mine's. Makes sense to me because look, all the other ones have an S at the end. Why doesn't this one? It should, but it doesn't grammatically. But I'm just saying that a lot of times you might hear certain dialects of English where they will add an S, or kids will add the S too. Okay, so with possessive pronouns, remember a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. So let me move the order of this to make it easier to understand. So if I'm making, let me just write some sentences using possessive adjectives. So that is my water bottle. That is her water bottle. It is their water bottle. Okay, so here's just some examples of me writing sentences using possessive adjectives. Remember, water bottle is a noun. Okay, and whose water bottle? My water bottle, or her water bottle, or their water bottle. Okay, so those are adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. They're showing possession. Now, if I wanted to replace those adjectives with full-on pronouns, I could do that too. I could say, that is my water bottle. It is mine. Or that is her water bottle. It is hers. It is their water bottle. It is theirs. It is our water bottle. It is ours. It is, who am I missing? Your water bottle. It is yours. Or if I'm talking about the water bottle of the table, I don't know, of the class, okay? It is the class's water bottle. It is its water bottle. We don't, I mean, this sounds weird, but it is grammatical. It is its, yeah. I wouldn't, you know what, I'm going to take that out because we wouldn't say that. Okay, so, but let me show you this. So that is my water bottle, it's mine. So here I took out water bottle and I took out my, and I basically replaced those two words with the possessive pronoun mine. It's mine. That is her water bottle. It is hers. That is their water bottle. It is theirs. It is our water bottle. It's ours. It is your water bottle. It's yours. Okay. All right. So those are the possessive pronouns. Finally, we have the reflexive pronouns. That's the last type of pronoun, I believe, in English, or at least the ones that we use the most. Reflexive pronoun. What in the world does that mean? What does reflexive mean? Reflexive, like think of it like a mirror. Reflection, like when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see a reflection of yourself. If I look in the mirror, I see myself. If you look in the mirror, you see yourself. If she looks in the mirror, she sees herself. If they look in the mirror, they see themselves. Okay, so let me show you what these look like. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, themselves, because it's plural, ourselves, because it's plural, and even yourselves, because sometimes we use you not to just talk to you, one person, but you as a group of people. So these are all reflexive pronouns, and I want to show you how to use them. Remember, we use them when we're thinking about reflection. Okay, so in other words, we use reflexive pronouns when we want to. Well, let's just do it like this. When the subject of a sentence is the same as the, how do I explain this? We use this, I just taught this in my class. How do I explain this? Yeah. Right, okay, right. When the subject of the sentence is the same as the object, that's it. Okay, so for example, like I said in the examples earlier, I see myself. Right? I is the subject, myself is the object. I see myself and it's reflecting back. Or he talks to himself. Objects can come after verbs or prepositions. She helps herself. They I already said talk to. They work for themselves. Okay. We blame ourselves for the problem. You feel sorry for yourself. Okay, so these are just some examples of reflexive pronouns. Remember, we use them when the subject and the object is the same in one sentence. And also something cool about this, well, maybe not so cool because it means more memorizing for you. But you could kind of learn these by knowing that there are verbs. Oh, wait, why did I delete that? Okay, there are specific verbs that commonly are used with reflexive pronouns, and those verbs are, let me give you some, like you can blame yourself, right? You can hurt yourself. You can help yourself. You can feel sorry for yourself. You can work for yourself. You can introduce yourself to a class. You can teach yourself something. You can enjoy yourself. Are you enjoying yourself right now? Okay, so those are just some common verbs that we use with a reflexive pronoun. Any reflexive pronoun doesn't have to be yourself. And that is that. Now, another note I want to make about pronouns is this is an area where I see students with some challenges when they want to use two pronouns, and one of them is refers to the writer, right? So like they'll say like something like, what did I write? What did they say? Oh, like Hannah and I work together. This is correct, but sometimes people will say I and Hannah work together. So this one's not correct. I and Hannah work together. That's not, what happened? What is happening? Jeez. Okay, so here we are. Okay. So here we have I and Hannah work together. That's not correct. Where did oh my God. Oh, okay. I and Hannah work together. That's not correct. Why? Because whenever we're using like I as a pronoun with and, okay, we usually put I at the end. Okay, so the students and I walk to the class. We don't say I and the students walk to the class. Okay, my friends and I finished our homework. Same thing with me. Okay, if we want to say she helped Hannah and me, you can say it like that. She helped Hannah and me, but we wouldn't say she helped me and Hannah, even though I say that all the time when I'm talking. But when you're writing, you want to put the me or the I after the and. Okay. The other thing is that we often will see people make mistakes in this type of situation, and they'll say she helped Hannah and I. They'll say she helped Hannah and I, and that's actually not correct. It sounds like it's correct, but it's not. Why is it not correct? Well, you tell me. Look, we got subject, verb. What comes after a verb? Objects. Is I the object pronoun or the subject pronoun? I is an object pronoun. I is a subject pronoun. Can I use a subject pronoun in the object position? No, I cannot. I need to say me. I need to say me instead. Okay, so you would just, change that to me. Okay, like you would never say she helped I, would you? So you would say she helped me. She helped him. You wouldn't say she helped he, right? She helped him. But sometimes people will say like she and her went to the store. She and her went to the store. And is this correct? Well, she is the subject pronoun. Her is an object pronoun. Can you use an object pronoun before a verb like this? No, but we do when we talk, and I do it even when I talk. But when I'm writing a paper, I want to avoid using those mistakes. So I will take out her and use it as she and, I don't know, her friend or something. Or I would just say they went to the store. Okay. Him and I went to the store. Is that okay? Him and I. Him and I. Well, it's okay to say I before a verb, and it's good to put I after and. But him, that's an object pronoun. We need he. He and I went to the store. Okay, so that's the grammar. Now let's talk about pronouns and social change. So now, if you have been paying attention, you can also see. You can see that there are now a lot of people who are telling others their pronouns. What that means is they are telling people how they want you to refer to them. It's like telling people your name, because when we're talking to people and we don't say their name all the time. I might say, yeah, okay, yeah, Hannah's over there, she just said, and I don't say the names all the time. And I'm a teacher, so I talk about my students all the time in class. And I'll say, oh, yes, what Jessica said was really good. She pointed out that. So I'm always using people's pronouns. And one time I actually, and I've probably done it more times, and I don't know, but I misgendered someone. Misgender means that you use the wrong pronoun to refer to them. Okay, so the reason that, so I called a student a she when that student was non-binary and uses they as a pronoun. So people who do not, identify with being like a binary, like a male or a female, they might identify as they. They is a very common pronoun now that we use to refer to one person, okay? Especially people who don't want to identify with being male or female, okay? Or something else, okay? So they'll say they. And when they do that and they tell you that they want you to call them they, it might be difficult for you to do that, but it is possible over time. It is possible. And when you do it, you would say, if you're referring to one person, you would still say they are, yeah, they are talking about, okay, this, that, the other. Yes, Hannah just said that they are saying that. You would use the plural verb still, even though you're referring to one person. The other thing about pronouns is that this is like nothing new to use they to refer to one person, actually. Don't tell me that it's ungrammatical, because we've been using they to refer to a singular person for a very, 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 very long time. In fact, look at this example. I'm going to give you an example. Someone left their book. Haven't you heard something like this? Like if somebody leaves a book in the classroom and we don't know who it was, if we don't know who it was, we don't know if it's male, female, they, them, we don't know. So when we don't know if it was one person, two people, male, female, we actually will say they. And in this case, it's one book, so it's one person. So we would say someone left their book. That means that one person. I don't know if it's male or female, non-binary. So I'm going to say their book, or something like this. Someone called you earlier. I told them to call back. I told them to call back. Them here is referring to one person. Someone called you. I told them to call you back. Why are we using them? Because maybe it doesn't matter whether they're male or female or non-binary, or maybe we don't know. And so we've been doing this for a long time in English, and it's completely acceptable. Maybe people, prescriptive grammar, grammar people will say it's not correct, but I'm not concerned with what's correct all the time. I'm concerned with how we use language, how we really use language. And I'm telling you that this, using they to refer to one person, is not something new. And it is not it is not only the result of like a social justice topic. Okay, so we can't use that argument. But I do want to encourage you to use pronouns, even if, or share your pronouns if you feel comfortable. And the reason why, for example, I look like a stereotypical like female. Like I have long hair, I wear makeup. These are like stereotypical things that, I guess females do. So I think people can maybe accurately guess that I'm she, okay? And that's correct. I am she. I identify as she. But I still tell people, I don't tell them, but I write it down in my social media stuff, and I put it on my like Zoom profile and my email signature, because I want to create a norm I want to normalize sharing a pronoun. The reason why I want to do that is because if we don't, like if cisgender people don't do that, then the only people who are doing it are the same people that continue to feel, othered and marginalized and not part of the conversation. So when somebody who is binary, like I'm female, I identify as she, okay, I look like, I guess you could say a stereotypical right woman, okay, characteristics, but I still am telling you I'm a she. And that is to create a norm for the people who do not look like the, stereotypical binary of male or female. We want to make it normal for them to be able to do this so that when they share their pronouns, it's not like, oh, whoa, that's different. No, it's normal for everyone to share their pronouns, just like we share our names. And that's why we do it. And that's why it's a thing. Okay, so I hope this pronoun video helped you out. Thank you for watching. Bye.